What's going on, guys? This is Yasin, and we just got some new Fairy Tail support in Blazing Domination or something. I forgot. I have no idea. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Who cares? And yeah, this is gonna be a live reaction. I've got no idea what to expect. And before we go any further, well, you know the drill. Smash the like and subscribe button. Anyways, this card right here is a Fairy Tail Match Lil, level 4 light spellcaster, just like the other Fairy Tail monsters, so nothing new. 1850 attack, again, just like everyone else. And then 1000 defense, all 3 effects once per turn. If a spellcaster monster with 1850 original attack is on the field, any of your Fairy Tail monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand or grave, and then you're locked under spellcaster monsters only for the rest of the turn. And that's just not the extra deck. It's like literally every location. So a pretty big drawback, but it's not like the end of the world, I think. If this card is no more a special summon, you can add a Fairy Tail spell trap from your deck to your hand. I think that's pretty nice. There's only one Fairy Tail spell card right now. It's Fairy Tail Tails. It's a continuous spell card that allows you to like extra normal summon one of your spellcaster monsters with 1850 attack. So yeah, that's cool. And then you can pay 500 life points. The name of one effect monster upon controls becomes Fairy Prince. Yeah, this is relevant right now, and I've got no idea what you can do with this effect, but we're gonna keep reading the cards. Maybe it's better than, I mean, maybe it's good, you know. Weaver of Fairy Tail Tails, level 4 Earth Spellcaster, 1850, 1000 defense. You need a Fairy Tail monster and a Spellcaster monster. First effect once per turn. During your main phase, you can special summon a Fairy Tail monster from your deck or banished. Yeah, that's pretty good. If you normal or special summon a non-Earth Fairy Tail monster while this monster is on the field, I think most of them are light, right? Well, actually, all of them are light. Oh, okay. You can target an effect monster upon controls, negate its effect. Also, its name becomes Fairy Prince. What? And then any Fairy Prince on the field becomes a spellcaster monster. This is interesting. Oh, so you're transforming all of your monsters into like Fairy Prince, and then they all become spellcasters. This has to be broken against Yummy. If they're like light spellcasters, then you can't make Yummy snatchy with it. So, but yeah, I mean, this is cool. It's just a little complicated to use, and also I don't know how you're fusion summoning this card. Again, maybe there's like a Shadal fusion spell card for the deck. Anyways, a Chronicler of Fairy Tail Tales. Okay, same exact summoning condition. First and third effect once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned using Fairy Prince as material, you can destroy as many cards your opponent controls as possible. And if you do inflict 500 damage to them for each. Okay, yeah, this is pretty good. You can super poly into this using one of your own Fairy Tails and one of your opponent's Fairy Prince now that it becomes a spellcaster. And then obviously, since you used your opponent's Fairy Prince, then you can also like destroy everything your opponent controls. That's pretty nice. Your Fairy Tail monsters cannot be destroyed by battle, and it includes itself. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can banish a Fairy Tail card from your hand or grave, except itself, I believe. Wait, Fairy Tail Tails. Oh, the continuous spell. Okay. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Oh, wow. Okay, so that, yeah, that's an Omni Negate. Ooh, sheesh. That's pretty nice. Pretty good indeed. Okay, pretty fantastic card. Yeah, for sure. But again, how are you summoning these cards? There's no fusion spell at the moment. Fairy Tail Wiccat, rank 4 Dark Spellcaster, 2 level 4 Spellcasters. Maybe this could be more generic than I think. Second and third effect once per turn. Fairy Tail monsters you control whose original attack attribute is light are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Holy crap, okay, whoa. I mean, to be fair, they're also really weak, 1850. So, yo, you can't out a Gemini Garnet at the moment. It is what it is. You can detach up to 2 materials from this card, send that many Fairy Tail cards from your deck to the grave, except itself. This would have been nice if Fairy Tail Snow was, you know, not banned, but yeah, it's unfortunate, right? I don't think they're gonna unban Fairy Tail Snow just for this one deck, but imagine sending Fairy Tail Snow from your deck to the grave. Not too bad, not too bad. Anyways, if this card is in your grave, you can target a Fairy Tail monster you control whose original attribute is light, special summon this card, and if you do, send that monster to the grave. You're going to be able to provide back an Xyz monster with no materials, so that the second effect is literally useless. I don't know, yeah. I don't really think this is, like, a great card. I don't think it sucks either, but it does depend on if, like, they create more Fairy Tail cards with graveyard effects, because at the current moment, there is really just 2. It's Match Lil as well as Fairy Tail Snow. Anyways, now we're moving on to the spells. So Fairy Tail long ago, quick play spell. Again, both effects once per turn. Special summon up to 1 light Fairy Tail monster with different names from each from your hand, graveyard, and or banished. And then you're locked under spellcaster's monster only for the rest of the turn. Okay. If this card is sent to the graveyard except from the field or becomes banished. Okay, so obviously you can send this with the Wiccat. You can set it, but it cannot be activated unless you control a Fairy Tail monster. So yeah, obviously the goal is to go into Wiccat, you send this, and then you reset it back, and then you flip it, and then you send back at least 1 monster from a grave or banished, And then, I don't know, maybe you can fuse with... I've got no idea. But hold on a second, I just realized something. Wait, this card is worse than I think. Because it's a quickly spell. So you won't be able to use it right away. Oh, no! Oh, this is so rough. It would have been nice if you could, like, use it right away. Like, if it had, like, just like the Malice Trap cards, but no. Damn, that's unfortunate. Ah, yeah. Oh, well. Fairy Tale Ball, field spell. You can only activate one card with this Kazima's per turn. When this card resolves, you can add a Fairy Tale monster or Fairy Tale Tales, again, the continuous spell from your deck or banish to your hand. Alright. Your Fairy Tale monsters can attack directly. Oh, okay, sure. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster and you control a Fairy Tale monster, you can target an effect monster your opponent controls. Negate its effect, also its name becomes Fairy Prince. Okay, yeah, that's actually kind of nice. Yeah, because your opponent will be turn player, so will be going Chilling 1, and then this is gonna go Chilling 2, so negate successfully. But obviously on your own turn, it kind of sucks, because you're negating something on Chilling 1, so your opponent just goes, okay, Chilling 2, do something, destroyer or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty nice, and then you can just generate more Fairy Princes, and you fuse with them, and then you do things, I don't know. But yeah, not bad, huh? Not bad. I mean, it's a starter, it makes your monsters, like, be able to attack directly. You can make, like, an easier, like, I don't know, Big Zeus with this. I don't know. But yeah, not bad. And then the last card is Tales of Fairy Tale. It better be a fusion spell. Equip spell, okay. Third effect, once per turn, the equipped monster gains 1000 attack. Once per turn, you can fusion summon a spellcaster fusion monster from your extra deck. Okay. Using monsters from your hand or field. And you can also use any Fairy Prince your opponent controls. It's interesting how I talked about Super Poly. And the fact that you can use, like, your opponent's monsters with Super Poly, since you're transforming your opponent's monsters into Fairy Prince, this is pretty much Super Poly. So, yeah, not bad. Yeah, okay, but it's not, like, generic or anything. If this card is in your grave, you can equip it to a Fairy Tale monster on the field, then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon a spellcaster monster with 1850 attack. Yeah, I think this is better than Fairy Tale Tales, the continuous spell card. I mean, it's an extra normal summon... And it also does something else. Fairy Tale Tales doesn't really do anything. It's like, you take no damage and then you get an extra normal summon. That's pretty much it. It's not the best card out there. This does 3 things. It's pretty cool. The field spell, pretty nice. This card is alright. It would have been better if it was a normal spell, because then you can use, you know, both effects in the same turn after you dump it with Wiccat. Wiccat is a decent card as well. Both fusions, I think, are actually pretty cool. This is really nice to summon on your opponent's turn, especially. But there is no way for me, like, for this deck at the current moment, other than, like, Super Poly to summon this card on the opponent's turn, unfortunately. But yeah, Omni Negate. That's correct. The monsters are really weak. It would have been nice if the field spell actually doubled the attack of all of your monsters, instead of allow them to attack directly. Because 1850 is just a joke. It's really nothing. But yeah, with, you know, 3700 attack, all of them become, like, super scary. Just like the Yummies, right? Because they start off pretty weak, but then they get stronger. These monsters, they start off weak, they stay weak. So Gem Knight Garnet is still an unbreakable board. Come on. But yeah, Weaver of the Fairy Tales is also a decent card. I mean, it's special summons from deck. Not bad. And then, yeah, the Match Lil. We just need, like, more Fairy Tale monsters that actually do something. Because right now, a lot of Fairy Tale cards are actually unplayable. Like, really, really bad. But there might be potential for some old cards. I mean, I'm looking at Fairy Tale Rella. Neither player can target monsters on the field with spell cards or effects except this one. Once per turn, you can discard a spell, equip one spell card from your hand deck or graveyard to discard. Yeah, okay, so you know what? Like, Rella can take advantage of, let's say, the Tales of Fairy Tale, and then you can fuse. So Rella can be like a semi-starter, I guess. That's nice, right? And then, looking at the other cards, the Fairy Tale Rochka. When this card is normal summon, you can make your opponent gain 500. Then your opponent looks at the top 3 cards in your deck and choose... Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh my god, okay. So really, right now, there is almost no good monsters because, I mean, I'm pretty sure Fairy Tale Sleeper is unplayable. I mean, it's a flip monster that also has a real effect. Yeah, then also Fairy Tale Snow is banned. You know, so we really just don't have enough, like, main deck monsters. Like, yeah, it's really just Fairy Tale Luna, maybe Rella, maybe Rochka, and then Match Lil. Yeah. If we can get, like, more cards, that would be appreciated. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know how you feel about these new Fairy Tale cards in the comment section below. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.